Ross Charles from the Jupiter Drawing Room is joining me in studio. Now, he's just been appointed to the International Board of Directors for One Show. Hello.
Hello.
Now, One Show, what is One Show?
One Show is an American award system, so like the Oscars, but for advertising.
All right, and you actually attended the One Show China. We spoke about it a little bit the last time you were here.
So actually, previously I was a judge on One Show in America, New York, for the awards, and I somehow was discussing education and how I'm interested in education with the president of One Show, and he said, "Would you like to come to China, and do a conference?" And of course, who wouldn't want to go to China? And that was in 2003.
Okay.
So I went there, and then I've been sort of going every year for a workshop, and it's education based. And I think now what they want to do, because One Show is, most award shows are for profit, whereas they're a non-profit company. So any profit that they do, they replow back into education. And they saw that education in China is an important thing. And I guess they like the way that I interact there, and they think that now doing it in South Africa is a good idea.
What an incredible opportunity.
No, it is, because I love teaching, and I love education, and it's important because though awards are important, they do seem sort of the sort of more narcissistic side of our industry.
Right.
But that's the great thing about One Show, is that what we want to do is improve creative standards, and one of those methods is to educate. And so I think this is a sign from One Show that they're serious about this, and it's not just in South Africa, it's also in India and France and so on. So they're really taking this education initiative around the world.
Now, you seem really passionate about education and doing it through One Show. The education is obviously for people in the creative industry.
Yeah, totally. Look, I'd love to be a history teacher, but I don't have
stick to what you know, right?
Yeah, well, I don't have a university degree, so I can't. But I know advertising and I know marketing, so I think it's just sort of logical to teach what I know.
Now, what do you think is missing from education when it comes to the creative industry, especially here in South Africa?
Well, I think the schools, they do help, but because it's very theoretical, it's not really relevant, whereas this is real time, okay? And you're dealing with creative directors in the industry. So the teachers are creative directors on a live project in a week. It's compressed. So you really learn. It's a little bit like, when you're learning to drive, it's different from if you're reading in a book how to drive, when you'd learn. The thing with South Africa is also the emphasis will be on black talent, of trying to educate black talent, which is, I think, sorely needed. Our industry is still too white.
Well, it sounds like a really intense program. Can you talk us through what happens throughout the One Show education process, how long it takes, and what the students are learning, what they take away from that?
Okay, cool. So I'll use the structure of the one we do in China. They get given a brief, all the universities, goes out, blanket brief. Then those are all judged, and the sort of top 20 or 10%, depending on volume, get to come to, say, Beijing, a city. And then we get a new brief. The kids get divided up for the lecturers, into classes. They get then divided up into teams, and hopefully they mix and match from different universities, so they're not sort of with all their mates. And then each teacher helps them work on the brief. It's all competitive. They get schooled, and then eventually they get chosen out of each classroom. If say 3 or 4 go forward into the final day, so that's a whole week. So sort of halfway we start narrowing down which teams are going to go forward. Then we work on their presentations, and then there's the final day where all the winning teams present their presentations, and then a winner gets chosen, and then that night we have a great party.
Well, that sounds amazing. It sounds like how it works in the real world, kind of.
A
little bit, a little taste of it.
No, it is. It is, and that's why I say it. So it's far more valuable than the sort of being in the university style where you're given 2 weeks and this
Right.
time, and this is high pressure, but you're learning and you're seeing other people, and you're getting taught by accredited directors, which is really important.
It sounds like an incredible experience for both the students and all of the creative professionals that are involved.
Absolutely. I generally, every time I learn more than the kids.
I
think.
can imagine. Now, working with One Show in the United States and in China, what kind of change have you seen in the students who've participated in the workshop from the beginning of the week to the end of the week?
Well, you know, obviously China is an anomaly because
Yeah.
advertising is only really 15 years old there. You know, it's a very new thing. But what we've seen is the kids that I were teaching 10 years ago are now in the industry and being big shots. So, I mean, I think that's amazing. On the other level, they have caught up and they're going to overtake. You know, beware, China's coming. Well, it doesn't matter what industry, anywhere in the world, they're coming. There are lots of them. They're hungry. You know, while the West is sleepy and scratching their nuts and pondering the complexities of life and whether they should take a gap year.
Some wise words.
The
from
China
Ross
take the
Chapman,
gap.
right?